Hey, what's going on, everybody? Servo here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about Wishblossom Ranch, take a look at some community predictions, and see if we can figure out who is actually going to be joining the valley here in just a month. Now, if you guys enjoy my content, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into it. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some predictions that the community has been talking about over here on Reddit over the past few weeks. And I gotta say, I'm really excited. We're about to get the major reveal, the showcase this Wednesday. And I will let you guys know I will be live streaming the showcase. So if you want to do like join our watch party, you definitely are more than welcome to watch it with us. We will be watching it live, of course. So we can discuss it as we're watching it and stuff. But yeah, the big question is, who are we getting? So we have this post over here by a Plurinisher that said, my predictions are in for the next DLC. What are your guesses? So we know that we're getting Snow White and Tinkerbell. So it's really like, who is the other two characters? We also know that one of them has to be a villain because, you know, there's like a villain that went over there, caused the decay, the corruption, and we're left with who's the other like side character. Who's it going to be? You know, these two are the main focus. We got Snow White is the one who rescued all of the animals. We got Tinkerbell. We're going to use Tinkerbell's magic to help us restore the valley. We have to have a villain, and then we're going to have a supporting cast character. So prediction one for them, they ended up doing Miguel, so Coco characters, and the Evil Queen. Now, I will say I firmly believe that the Evil Queen is one of the characters. I don't think they're going to stray too far and give us King Candy. I don't think they're going to stray too far and give us a villain from like a different universe other than Snow White. I would be okay if they did, absolutely. Gameloft usually plays things pretty safe. So I think we're going to get Snow White, Tinkerbell, the Evil Queen. So really, it's all about who's going to be this character. Now, Coco would be awesome. I mean, they've been giving us lots of teasers for Coco related items in the premium shop. The upcoming floating island event, we're getting a new Coco well skin. We ended up getting a Coco tapestry and a Coco puzzle during the last DLC, which was Storybook Vale. All hints point towards, you know, Coco related characters or items. So I would definitely be okay with this. If not, maybe they would save that universe for an update around October of next year. I think that would be awesome too. So I think their first guess here is a really strong possibility. And then their second guess right here is the same but Bo Peep. Now I would love a Bo Peep, but I feel like they would actually save her for a realm, like an expansion to the Toy Story realm. So as much as I actually would love her to be the next like character, I personally don't think so. I think that, yeah, we're going to get another update next year. And I also think you can mark this down. I think we're getting another Toy Story update next year. That's going to bring two characters. Could be Bo Peep and Rex. Could be Bo Peep, Mr. Potato Head. You know, there's so many different combinations. I believe that's what's going to happen here. Now, who is this? This is from Robin Hood. I think that's another one of those like really niche villains that I would love to see in the game. I just don't know if they're going to add them for DLC, you know, for like this DLC. So I mean, imagine having this character into the valley. I'd be so hyped for it. But I don't think this one's quite as likely, but really great guess here. Now, their third guess here is Tigger. Now, Winnie the Pooh. Is Winnie the Pooh actually going to be joining the valley soon? There have been so many premium shop items, so many hints. We also have the like Honey Pot Falls that was spotted in the back of the little teaser trailer and images. And yeah, all things point towards Winnie the Pooh joining Wishblossom Ranch. Now, he would be a very interesting character to add in there. You know, maybe if they weren't going to do Winnie the Pooh, they could potentially do a side character. Could be Tigger, could be Piglet. How would you guys feel about Piglet joining the valley? I feel like Winnie the Pooh and characters in France are going to be part of a realm. There's a lot of characters that they can pull from, especially, you know, like Eeyore. And I feel like they're going to save them for a realm. We have Hans here. So Frozen, tying a Frozen character to a DLC would be interesting. I think he fits the DLC perfectly, and I would also be okay if we weren't getting the Evil Queen. I would also be okay if we ended up getting him as the villain. And then the last one here, we got Snow White, Tinkerbell, and then I'm not sure who these two characters are, honestly. I know who this character is. I've seen them. I believe she was from Robin Hood, Lady Marian. I'm not sure who this is though. Must have been an older film that I haven't seen before. They would be interesting too. So yeah, again, if I had to make my prediction and my guess, I think that we're gonna see Snow White, Tinkerbell, Evil Queen, and then honestly, it could be someone from Coco. I'm just not too sure who this extra character is gonna be. Please let us know down below if you have any thoughts on it. Up next, we have a post by B Darkwing that said, Wishblossom Curveball. They said, I'm watching Pinocchio right now with my kids, and the Mountain Alps setting reminds me of what we have seen so far for Wishblossom Ranch. I wonder if many of our current predictions are wrong, and we end up getting Blue Fairy or Jiminy Cricket. Between the setting of Wishblossom Ranch and wishes as a theme, Blue Fairy or Jiminy Cricket actually makes a lot of sense. What do you think? Are one of these characters a plausible addition? Pinocchio doesn't seem like a movie we'd get a realm for, so a DLC addition makes sense. See, this statement right here is a great thing. Whenever you're making a prediction for like a DLC or something, you have to really think about, is that character or that universe, do they make more sense as a realm or a DLC? So Gameloft kind of likes to keep realms and universes together that have a whole cast of characters, kind of like the Inside Out realm, and then they can implement them with multiple updates rather than, just a couple of characters. So we have seen it. We ended up getting Aladdin and Jasmine in a realm, and then Jafar came in a DLC, so it's not like it's totally impossible. It does seem like they're keeping the villains tied to DLCs and not adding any more villains into the base game, at least not as of right now. So yeah, this would be some interesting characters. Imagine if we did get Blue Fairy or Jiminy Cricket into the game. That's something I don't think any of us would have seen coming. Now we have someone here that said Cusco in Wishblossom Ranch. They said absolutely crackpot theory, but it came up during a discussion in my house. How funny would it be if we got Llama Cusco in the new DLC? Like, poor guy is just trapped in a stall waiting for us to free him. Imagine if that was the quest. Like, imagine his backstory and his sass that he would deliver if we ended up finding him just trapped. And, Snow White kind of just hid him away whenever it took all the other animals and accidentally scooped up Cusco. This would be the best way to implement another character. Oh my gosh. Please let that be the cast. Give us Cusco, Snow White, Tinkerbell, and the Evil Queen. I mean, that's A rating casting right there. I would be all for this DLC. And then maybe eventually you can work with him and do some quests, and you have to make him go from his llama form back to his human form. I'm telling you, perfect storytelling right there. We got this next post by Mondo1342 that said, Wishblossom Ranch provides Gameloft with the opportunity to make the greatest artistic choice in history. They have their character with a pickaxe. I love your artwork, by the way. Said, with Max being a companion that acts like a villager, Horace Horsecollar would provide us a villager that acts like a mount. Please don't have us ride around on Horace. I came upon the discovery because Horace, pictured, is a horse. You may not have noticed my subtle edit in the picture, but I have actually provided an artistic rendering of our player villager astride a Horace Horsecollar. He is a horse, you see. Thank you for your consideration. They said, okay, this is a meme, but I love Horace a lot, and I also want this. I could see them adding Horace. That would be interesting combination of characters, for them to add. And I honestly would love if they had like a special interaction with Goofy and Horace, so I'm all for it. Up next, we got a Bird Babe that said, hear me out, Wishblossom Ranch and Genie. So if you remember back in Jasmine's quest, she had said, unfortunately, he's still traveling and we have no way to get in touch with them. So this one, Genie added into a DLC, like another DLC, would kind of make sense. They like to split up the characters, Rapunzel was in a DLC, Flynn was in a DLC, and then Aladdin and Jasmine free to play. And then we would have Genie over here tied to a DLC. This update does deal with a lot of magic, but I think we already have the magical character that we're going to use for this DLC, which would be Tinkerbell. They clearly stated that Tinkerbell was the one we're going to use her magic to help restore the valley. So I don't think we would need 2 magical characters in this DLC. As much as I would love to see Genie in the valley, I don't think this one is too likely. I can definitely see them adding Genie in another update. And I do believe he's coming to Dreamlight Valley for sure, maybe even next year. Now up next, let's just talk about some other stuff here. So just 7 days ago, we have this post here that said we're getting spoilers, Wishblossom Ranch, aren't we? So they have this post for Cogsworth quest that said, we would have used truffles, but apparently they don't grow around here. A pity. And then they said, says it all. So we could potentially be getting pigs in the next update as companions. We have Pua. They already have the model for it. They would just have to reskin them. We know that we're getting like geese in the next DLC as companions. So I could see them giving us pigs. There is like some speculation about what kind of animal companions we're actually going to be getting, if we're getting like 3 just like every other DLC. So I think that is actually really likely. And someone down here actually said if we get piggies in Wishblossom, then we seriously need Henwen, especially now we're getting a tiny bit of Black Cauldron love in the upcoming Haunted Floating Island event. So that could be a little foreshadowing to some companions that we're getting as well. And then let's talk about resources. So Stephanie May said Wishblossom Ranch equals more resources. Is it just me, or is anyone else excited about new resources? I'm excited for Wishblossom Ranch, and horses will be cool, but I really can't wait to see all the new resources. I'm the same way. It's always nice to get new characters. It's always nice to get, you know, new story and stuff. But what I love about every new DLC is the complete overhaul of the game, the new aesthetic, the new items, just exploring a whole new world. And this is something that I'm really hyped for too. So I'm glad to see that some other players are as well. Even just seeing like all the different gems we're going to be able to get, all the new crops, you know, things like that you can actually use to decorate too. It's almost like we're just getting a tremendous amount of new ways to expand our creativity in Dreamlight Valley. So we'll probably get new paths, new fences, all the new resources and ingredients and stuff you can use to decorate. All the food that you cook, you can decorate on your tables and stuff. So I'm with you with that. I absolutely cannot wait. And the last post we're going to take a look at about Wishblossom Ranch today is this one by Sajo Cat that said, anyone else doing pre-horse renovations? We started calling it the widening. So they said with the Wishblossom Ranch DLC coming our way, we've started a little project we're calling the widening, basically clearing out all the tight corners and narrow paths in the original valley to make room for horses and maybe a few dramatic entrances. But here's the big question. Will we be able to ride horses in our original valley, or are they ranch exclusive? Now, they made this post a while back. We have since then got some more information. We did see an article that said that the horses would be able to come to your regular valley and DLC maps. So this is a good idea. If you have like really narrow paths in your valley, you may want to make them a little bit wider so the horses can get through. The horses will probably still take up relatively the same amount of space as our character. The way it kind of read off in the articles that we did read was they nailed it with, like, you know, the movements, the animations of the horses, the camera seemed to flow nicely and everything. So I don't think it's too big of an issue, but it might be a good idea to make sure you have some space in your regular valley if you want to bring your horses back there. And guys, that's about it for today's video. So yeah, let me know any of your thoughts down below. Who do you think is coming in the next DLC? What kind of crops do you think we're going to see? What kind of new companions are you hoping to see? Let us know below. We do know that here in just 2 days, we will have all the answers, but it's always good to lock in a prediction now and see how close we are. It's just really fun. But thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one.